Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Grassroots Vegan. I just came in from an amazing run. I only ran 5 kilometers today, but in the last 500 yards, I just gunned it. I ran as fast as I could possibly run to the point where I felt my insides ready to rip apart. And then at that level, you're just kind of pushing every step until you just can't give anymore. And you're just panting afterwards, and it's painful. But afterwards, you feel so fantastic. And that's kind of like how I operate a lot of times, not just with physical activity, but with a lot of things I do in my life. I like to work with extremes and challenge myself by doing that. Never just assuming that things should be just the way they've been all the time, but allowing yourself to be challenged conceptually, existentially, physically, metaphysically. Open yourself up. Don't try to run and find some safe place of innocence and purity. It doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Live in the real world and become robust. And you become robust by facing your fears and taking on real challenges. And when you overcome obstacles, you feel friggin' fantastic. You feel powerful. Until you get knocked down again, get humbled. That happens too. But you get back up and you just go back at it again. But never allow yourself to get fixed into one line of thinking and or one way of doing something, and that there's no other way, because there's plenty of ways, there's plenty of possibilities. Anyhow, enough of the motivational stuff. So I've been doing the Mcdougall diet, basically the high starch, low fat diet for the last week. Basically, most of my calories have been derived from potatoes and rice. And of course, there's vegetables as well that I eat, and I still eat fruit. I love fruit. In fact, that's all I've been eating this morning is fruit. But I have to say, now I didn't want to put up a video too early to give and start blowing the horn for the Mcdougall diet and how wonderful it is, because it really is too early. I don't know. I mean, this could go bad on me. I could start gaining undesirable weight, and who knows, and I could have health issues. I don't know. I mean, this is all new territory for me. I'm out of my comfort zone here. And, it's a paradigm shift, because you gotta realize, like, since 2010, 90% of my calories were derived from fruit. 90%. There were periods of times through that time when I was doing 100% fruitarian. And so this has been a major shift. And mentally, the shift was, even though I never put restrictions on eating cooked food, I always felt like when I did, it was inferior to eating fruit. Even if what I ate was healthy, like steamed vegetables and steamed rice, I still felt like, okay, this is okay, but it's not optimal. And so that in the last week, to change that around, to change your thinking around, that no, actually, eating starch is optimal. And almost immediately, I've started to experience that. The first thing that I have noticed by introducing more starch into my diet was how satisfied I felt. And that was a weird feeling, because I have to say, eating 100% raw fruits, I was always, either I was stuffing myself crazy to get full, and even when I did that, it wouldn't be too long afterwards where I'd start to feel hungry again. It was always something And even if I wasn't really feeling hungry, I wasn't feeling satisfied. I always felt like I was missing something. And I tried to modify things like introducing more celery. You know, maybe it was a sodium, I was desiring salt or something. I don't know. I couldn't quite figure it out. And it would be, that experience would be even stronger in the evening time where I felt like I needed something and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Have you experienced that, doing 100% fruitarian? I have. And that was never resolved. Well, doing the Mcdougall Diet in the last, I guess, well, I started on Monday, basically. And today's Saturday, so what are we talking about? 5-6 days? I felt satisfied. And in the evening time, I didn't have any strange cravings. And that was a weird, I almost felt like this is not right, that this is wrong. You can't feel satisfied, right? You can't be content with what you eat, but hey, I do. And that is amazing. It's wonderful. Another thing is so much less time is required with regards to food. I mean, whether it's going out shopping all the time, making sure you're well stocked on fruit, or the time it takes to eat fruit. It takes a long time to eat fruit. That's why a lot of fruitarians resort to drinking smoothies. Actually, that's what I'm doing right now. Actually, I'm going to have a drink. I still like my smoothies. But I don't want to be drinking smoothies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't want to live on smoothies. I like chewing my food, and I don't think it's healthy to override chewing. But if you don't have the time to eat a lot of fruit to meet your caloric needs, and you're just chewing, and you choose, sorry, let me back up here, and you decide to make smoothies to speed up that process, then you're basically drinking your food constantly. And I know there's raw foodists out there that didn't promote that as being healthy, that you drink your food for the next month. That's crazy. I'm sorry, that's just crazy. But so yeah, less time required. And another thing I noticed is my digestion is a lot better. I used to think, I convinced myself when I was eating a lot of fruit, deriving most of my calories from fruit, that going poo 3-4 times a day was normal, and the poos being slushy was normal too. But it affected my lifestyle because I like to go out a lot. I'm a very active person, and there were times when I was concerned about going too far away from home in case I had to have a bowel movement, or I would force myself to go before going out somewhere just to make sure that I wouldn't have a bowel movement, and that's not right. Whereas since I introduced more starch into my diet, everything changed. My stools are much more healthier looking. I go in the morning, sometimes in the evening, and I don't have that panicky feeling inside that, oh, I might have to go. So that to me is a huge relief. Now, I'm sure not everybody experiences that on a fruitarian diet. In fact, there's a lot of women that have the opposite problem. They're always constipated, so probably eating a lot of fruit and making them regular is a wonderful experience. But for me, it wasn't. It was in the other extreme. So, feeling satisfied, that is a huge bonus to the Mcdougall diet. Better bowel movements, stable digestion, that's a huge bonus. Less time to eat your food, right on. I haven't even touched the financial side. I don't even know how much money I've saved by not eating as much fruit, because fruit is an expensive way to get your calories. That is if you're eating quality fruit. Now, if you're eating just nothing but bananas, then yeah, you could probably eat pretty cheaply. But if you don't die from some dietary related disease, you're going to, the monotony of eating that way will kill you. So again, early stages here, I don't want to get too excited because you never know what could happen next week, right? Oh, in terms of physical, and workouts, I find I have more energy. I have the fuel burns longer, I guess is what you could say. Now, I was very active on fruitarian as well, and and there's fruitarians out there that have done amazing things just eating fruit and physically have accomplished some pretty remarkable stuff. But again, with stable digestion and just I find starch is a longer burning energy. So that's where I'm at right now, early stages. Let's not jump to any conclusions here. Let's not get too excited, but it's hard to hold my enthusiasm back on this right now. So I'll keep you tuned, and I'm the guinea pig here, basically, right? I'm the experiment. So watch me, see what takes place, and I'm going to try to be honest as possible with you guys. I don't want to try to exaggerate this and try to make it look like it's the best thing since manna. I want to be as objective as possibly I can be, and I know that's impossible at the end of the day. We all have biases, but I'm going to try my best, okay? And yeah, stay tuned.